Welcome all to our breathing space for the 24th of September. Today is all about acceptance, and acceptance in the mindfulness sense is really just the opposite of ignorance or the opposite of denial. So, acceptance is just knowing things to be as they are. So, it's very close, really, to mindful awareness. And we're going to practice today on mindfulness of the breath and the body, and around that, awareness of any thoughts or feelings that might come up during our practice. And then we're going to hold the whole thing in acceptance and keep your practice as light or as deep as feels right for you. We always practice with self care. And if you're choosing a particular experience, or if a particular experience is coming to mind, try and work with something that's light or something that's easy. We can use our practice like sewing a parachute so that when real life happens, then we've got that parachute strong and prepared. But for now, just choose something that's easy to practice acceptance around. So let's begin by coming into a posture that invites a sense of embodied awareness and kind of relaxation, also coming into presence and awareness. And before you close your eyes, I'm just going to wave two things at you. One is a jar of Marmite, and the other is a block of chocolate. So when we're practicing acceptance, sometimes it's very natural to like or dislike what we experience, right? Some people love Marmite, some people hate them. Everyone likes chocolate. I can't imagine anyone doesn't like chocolate, but it's always possible. So no amount of wanting to like Marmite, or ignoring the fact that you don't like Marmite is not going to change the Marmite. It's just going to deny your experience. So let's go with this just as acceptance. And while we're going through this, I'm drinking a warm mug of Marmite tea. So I'm embodying the experience while we go through the meditation. And as you come across your experiences in this meditation, just treat them like Marmite. You're either going to love them, you're going to hate them. And acceptance is just accepting that, not trying to push them away or change them. Things are just as they are. So we might want to close our eyes or leave them open with a soft gaze, and welcoming yourself into mindful presence, just turning your attention inwards. And as we settle into meditation, maybe just noticing you as you are right now. Perhaps an awareness of any felt sense or energy in the body, anything that's particularly present in the mind. So just asking yourself, what is alive in me right now? Maybe turning towards that with a sense of space and openness and curiosity. And just allowing that to sit with you Let's see if we can get ourselves grounded and centered. So perhaps just inviting attention into feeling the weight of your body supported by the surface, allowing your body to be held, secure, coming deeper into a sense of grounded awareness by checking in with all those different sensations of contact between your body and that surface, whether it be a chair, a bed, a floor. And through this sense of contact, just connecting with the energy of the earth, very grounded and stable energy of the earth. And allow it to hold you and support you through your practice. So we might bring our attention now to the breath and begin by taking a few deliberately deeper, longer breaths. And if it feels comfortable, maybe breathing in gently through the nose, and then a long, slow out breath through pursed lips. And maybe just repeating that a few times in your own way and in your own time. And as you do, just sensing into how those mindful breaths are felt in the body. But if it feels like something that's possible for you right now on an out breath, you might even just allow the body to sigh and feel the vibration, the resonance of that sigh in the throat or the chest or wherever it comes alive. Ah, ah. And then just allowing the breath to find its own natural rhythm. And we can let go of the deliberate in breath or the long, slow out breath, and we can become simply the observer of the breath, breathing all by itself. We just open up some curiosity to how that breath is felt most present in the body today. And then just finding one breath to follow all the way in, all the way out. And with that one mindful breath, just finding another, following that breath all the way in and all the way out. And with each mindful breath, just slowing things down, frame by frame, all the sensations of the in breath, all the sensations of the out breath, even noticing those little pauses at the top and the bottom of each breath. As you're observing your breath, if you're noticing any tendency to want this meditation to be one way or another, if you notice any striving for a certain state of being, if you notice any distractions, if you notice any evaluation of your meditation experience, what would it be like just to invite acceptance of all of these? Just noticing. Here's striving. Here is evaluating. Here is distraction. Say to yourself, ooh, that's interesting. Invite it into your practice. Accept that these things are part of your mindfulness of the breath today. And then gently just invite your attention back to the physical sensations of the next in breath and the next out breath. And the next. And the next. If you notice any tendency to believe that your breath is too fast, too slow, too deep, too shallow, too erratic, your breath should be breathing in some particular way for a meditation, what would it be like just to accept that thinking around the breath? Just be curious. Gosh, isn't it curious that I want the breath to be a certain way, that I believe that there's a right way or a wrong way to breathe? Just accept that. But underneath that thinking, allowing the breath to breathe all by itself and just coming back to physical awareness of the movements in the body with each in breath and each out breath. If you notice any thinking pulling you away from your attention on the breath, what would it be like just to say, gosh, okay, today here is thinking, and accept the wandering mind as a natural human quality. Just accept it as part of who you are and part of today's experience. Once we accept that the mind wanders, that it's perfectly normal, just allowing that to be, gently inviting our focus of attention back to the next in breath and the next out breath. And if you're finding it easy or difficult to practice today, can we bring some acceptance to that too? This is what it is today. So let's make that our practice. Explore how it feels. So let's invite our attention into a very quick body scan now. This body that is here around the breath, this living, breathing body, which is alive and dynamic and vital. And we can explore all that is alive in this body. And we can practice our acceptance around this too. So we might begin with our sensations in the feet. Just inviting our attention now all the way down through the body, down through the legs, into the feet. We might check in with our toes. With the tops of our feet. The soles of the feet. And the heels of the feet. Just opening to whatever is or is not in awareness. Sensations perhaps of buzzing or tingling, maybe pulsing. Maybe you're aware of your feet in contact with socks or shoes or the surface. Maybe you don't feel very much at all. So, can we accept that too as part of today's practice? Just explore what it feels like to sit with the feet and not feel very much at all. Then we might invite our attention up through the legs, maybe beginning up through the calves, into the shins, everything around the knee, the backs of the knees, the kneecaps, then up through the thighs, the backs of the thighs, perhaps even coming up towards the buttocks, and the front of the thighs and the sides coming up towards the hips. Hmm. Just noticing any sensations that come to you, either in the skin or the muscles, or maybe even the bones or the joints of your legs. Just asking you, what is alive in my legs today? You might notice whether your legs are straight or bent, folded in some particular way, if they're in contact with something. Maybe aware of temperature. And if you notice any tendency to label what you find as pleasant or maybe some other parts that you find unpleasant, what would it be like just to accept both of those into your practice? Just accept that in life, there's got to be some things that feel pleasant, and there've got to be some things that are unpleasant. It's natural and normal. And yeah, maybe we find pleasant and unpleasant somewhere in the legs. So just maybe inviting a curiosity. What does pleasant feel like? What does unpleasant feel like? And let's move our attention now up to the torso, from everything from the pelvis up through the back, the muscles of the lower back and the muscles between the shoulder blades and up to the shoulders, the neck, the spine. Then perhaps there might be sensations in the belly or the chest. So again, just noticing what sensations are most present today. Perhaps today those sensations are on the skin, or they're felt in the muscles, or maybe they're felt in the organs or the bones. And if there's any tendency here again for pleasant or unpleasant, can we just accept that it's perfectly normal to like pleasant experience, and it's perfectly normal to dislike unpleasant experiences. So acceptance doesn't mean that we're forced into liking things that we don't like. Acceptance is simply acknowledging that this is pleasant, this is unpleasant, I like this, and I don't like that. Then just exploring how that feels and what that brings alive. And of course, around that, there might be some thinking, there might be some emotions. So, can we allow those into our practice too? Even though our focus is on the body, we can be aware that embodied sensations, of course, those sensations bring thinking and emotions. So, let's welcome them all in, accept them too. Acceptance is simply knowing what we're experiencing while we are experiencing it. But of course, we also have the choice how deep or how lightly we practice, and we have the choice to let that be and bring our focus of attention just back into another part of the body if we prefer. So let's move our attention now to our shoulders, and from there down the arms and into the hands. So, acceptance doesn't mean that we have to be buried in an experience and trapped there. We can always move our focus. We can choose where we put our attention. So, what sensations draw your attention in the hands or in the arms? What's present in those regions today? And then letting go of this, let's turn our attention to the neck and the jaw. And through to the lips, the cheeks, the eyes, the brow, and the scalp. So let's just hold the whole body in awareness, just being with whatever comes and goes in that awareness. And maybe around the body, we might notice sounds or thoughts or feelings. We might notice judgment, evaluation. So, can we just accept all of these as our present experience? Can we just be with this and accept things as they are? And one way that we might cultivate this sense of being fully present with all the different layers of experience. Might be to invite a quality of kindness, friendliness into our experience. We could take a smile, just invite a smile to our lips, and then breathe that smile into our experience. As you feel into the curve of the smile at the corners of your mouth and the warmth of the smile, holding your experience with compassion and kindness and warmth. This is a smile of acceptance, accepting you, accepting your experience. You might breathe that acceptance of a smile into your mind, accepting all those thoughts. You might feel the smile in the corners of your eyes. You might feel it softening your brow. You might feel your face holding the warmth of the smile. Maybe softening any worries or any tension is held in the muscles of the face. We might smile into the jaw and the throat. Into any tension or emotions, anything that needs a voice. Anything that wants to be heard. Just accepting that too. We can widen that smile, feel it coming through our shoulders and our neck, accepting the burdens of responsibility that we might carry, accepting the difficulties and the challenges and how they can weigh upon us. Just softening around those, breathing a smile into them too. We might bring the smile to our arms and our hands, recognizing all the things that we have to do in life, all the little jobs, all the little details, pleasant and the unpleasant. We might even use one hand to caress the other and just accept that, sometimes life is difficult. And sometimes it's pleasant. We do the best that we can. The smile is an allowing presence. It's a friendliness, a kindness. We can bring that down into the chest, into the belly, into the heart. Just accepting our breathing just as it is and accepting whatever emotions are alive in us today. Just smiling a softness around these two. And this smile, this kindness, this friendliness can spread down through our belly and our pelvis and into our sense of being grounded and nourished. as we soften and allow what is here. Just allow yourself to feel the life in you today. And this smile travels down through the legs, through the feet, and into the energy of the earth. Recognizing yourself as you are a living being, you're present here right now, accepting yourself, knowing yourself just as you are. Whatever emotions are alive in your body, whatever you feel in your breath, just being with this. An acceptance of ease or of difficulty, accepting liking or disliking, acceptance of whatever this practice brings alive. Just sitting with that while I read you a little poem. The poem's by Dorothy Hunt, and it's called Peace is This Moment Without Judgment. Do you think peace requires an end to war? Or tigers eating only vegetables? Does peace require an absence from your boss, your spouse, yourself? Do you think peace will come some other place than here, some other time than now, in some other heart than yours? Peace is this moment without judgment. That is all. This moment in the heart space where everything that is welcome. Peace is this moment without thinking that it should be some other way, that it should feel some other thing, and that your life should unfold according to your plans. Peace is this moment without judgment. This moment in the heart space where everything that is welcome. So well done for your practice today. Well done for being here, for showing up for yourself, making a space in your day for your self-care and your self-acceptance. Going to invite you to bring a little bit of movement, maybe into your fingers, your toes, perhaps allowing that movement to spread through your arms and your legs, opening your eyes very gently. Give yourself a pat on the back. Well done for your practice. And then I invite you to come back to your screens for a little bit of discussion. And I'm just going to stop our recording. But I might just invite you, if you're interested, in our discussion, perhaps if you're following this on a video at some point. After your practice, just see what comes alive in the question, what does the attitude of acceptance bring to my lived experience? With that, I'm going to end the recording.